What is the risk of owning zero Bitcoin? What is the risk of ignoring this asset completely and not having any allocation to it in your portfolio? And so the same people that argue for diversification is important because you put all your eggs in different baskets instead of betting all on one thing. The same people that tell you that will then own zero Bitcoin. And for me, I don't believe in diversification. To me, diversification is selling the winner to buy some losers, right? I have this knowledge. I know that Bitcoin is better money, and eventually the better money, the better technology is going to win, and Bitcoin is going to replace the current monetary system that we have that is fundamentally broken. And so having that knowledge, why would I diversify into other investments that I think are worse? And even if you fundamentally disagreed with me and you think diversification is crucial, then you should diversify into Bitcoin, because the risk of ignoring Bitcoin is that Bitcoin becomes the dominant monetary system of our planet. It's a global, distributed, fair monetary system that anyone, anywhere in the world can participate in without using the rails of our current fiat monetary system. So if that happens, you're going to be left holding none of the asset. And so the risk of not even allocating 1% of your portfolio to Bitcoin is 1,000 times riskier than putting all your eggs into the basket that is Bitcoin. So I just think it's funny that people will go around saying, oh, it's so risky, owning Bitcoin, it's so volatile. Like, how are you going to handle the volatility? I mean, first, they don't understand the asset. They haven't taken the time to research and to learn about what Bitcoin is and why it's volatile in the short term, but why it continues to go up over time. But they will still put all of their eggs into the basket that is dollar-denominated investments, fiat investments. And those investments will continue to appreciate in dollar value, sure, but barely beating the rate of the debasement of the money, the rate of the money printer creating more money out of thin air. Bitcoin is an asset that you feel safe if you understand it. You feel safe storing your time and energy in because you understand the fundamentals, and you understand that even when the dollar-denominated price changes in the short term, that the fundamentals of Bitcoin don't change. There's still only going to be 21 million Bitcoin. There's still a decentralized distributed ledger. There's still all of these properties that make Bitcoin Bitcoin. Those don't change just because the dollar-denominated price dips, right? And this dip recently, when Bitcoin dipped from about 120,000 to just above 100,000, right? That looks sharp now, but that's just going to be a blip in the radar further down the line. That's just going to be a tiny speck on Bitcoin's price when you look at a 5-10 year time horizon. And when you have that kind of long time horizon on this asset, then those dips don't really shake you. And this dip was caused by a lot of leverage, right? People take on great leverage, and then they get liquidated because they take a huge risk betting on Bitcoin's price in the short term. And then they get liquidated because they were overexposed, and they were basically betting on Bitcoin to go up in a short amount of time. And then even a small dip down can liquidate their entire position. So that's what Bitcoin is really good at. It's good at shaking out the tourists and the people that don't understand what they're investing in. And the people that hold on to it with a long-term horizon, those people always get rewarded, right? There wasn't a 4-year period where if you held Bitcoin, you would have lost, capital. You have to have a long-term view on it. And if you do, you will be rewarded. And if you continue to ignore it, not learn anything about it, and just dismiss it as risky, without understanding the risks of not owning any, then, right, I don't know, that will suck. It'll suck not owning now what could be the potential money of Earth, and you can buy a piece of the finite pie that pie isn't going to change in size between now and the end of time. So understand your risks if you're going to continue to ignore Bitcoin. Yeah, that's about it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, together, let's work, save, and build a better future with Bitcoin. See you in the next video.